The business was officially born once there was traction on the bags, and my brother said, let's formalize this. And so for a while, he was my daily phone call, then he would fly up, and we really had to figure out, who do you staff up with first? I had an intern. Okay, good. We really felt like we were outsiders within this industry. We had a showroom, so they were taking care of sales. So we really had to focus on design, PR, and graphic design. That was it at the time, production. And so it was a very tiny 5-person team that we could, again, we were bootstrapping. So we could only afford someone when we had
orders.
If we had the orders and the money to pay them. So it was very tiny. It was lean. We couldn't get an office lease. So I convinced my landlord to rent me another apartment in my building, and that was my office.
Wow.
And that was after working at my apartment with 5 people, and my boyfriend would wake up and want to watch TV on the couch, and I'd be like, no, it's 9 a.m. We
should be working.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we always made decisions, especially at that time, of where we could see white space and take advantage. So social media was just beginning. The only form of advertising or reaching your customer was through a store or a magazine. We didn't have $40,000 for an ad in Vogue.
Yep.
So the fact that we could talk to our customer online was like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And when I did, stores and media were like, you shouldn't talk to your customer. You're making a huge mistake. You need to be better than her. You need to be perceived as like, I'm holier than thou. And my brother and I felt like, why? This is great. We get feedback. We do surveys. We're doing crowdsourcing. I mean,
for them.
It's for them.
Yeah.
And I was taking orders, especially during the 2008 recession, early crowdsourcing. They were like, can you bring back the purple from 2006? I'm like, yeah, send me your credit cards and I'll go uptown and make it. And that's how we did it.
Wow.
And so I think that for us, that constant connection to the customer and never getting to the place where you're like to them really made her loyal.
Well, what year is it that we're talking about right there?
That was 2007, 2008.
So from 2001 to 2007, 2008 was likely challenging times.
It never wasn't challenging.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Up until the bitter end. When we sold the company. It was,
oh, man.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Okay, so
but there are mistakes in that.
Yeah, talk to us about the mistakes. Like, what are the first one was super clear. It was like, hey, let's watch TV during business hours. that was one that you were like, hey, no, that one's obvious. What are some of the not obvious mistakes?
Okay, so within my industry, at the time, my brother kept saying, we're bootstrapping it. It's going to be really uncomfortable for just the next 5 years. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, but
you just you continue to sell.
Exactly. Sew those bags. Yeah. I think that there can be too lean of an organization that halts growth, but there's also people that are just like, oh, just give me the money and it'll be so easy. And that's not the answer either. So I think there is a right amount that's conservative. I think we were too lean for too long. Mm-hmm. When we did take in private equity money, they were of the mindset of, let's grow this to the next $1 billion Michael Kors, Tory Burch, Kate Spade, pump it and just sell. And then when we went to sell, the tone changed and they said, well, are you profitable? We're like, no one ever said we had to be profitable. We just thought we needed to grow.
Just grow top line. That's
exactly.
What we're supposed to do.
But we're not a tech company, and we're a product company, and these products have...
The cost of goods is real.
Yeah, like even the gentleman who's now the CEO who purchased my company, he said, you guys thought you were like a tech company. Like, that's how you did this, which is cool. But like this margin that you need to make in order to have profit is higher than most, especially with bags.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm in awe you got this far. I have no idea how you did it, but like, that's not how apparel and handbag companies can actually do this. So
did you get a tech company multiple from this person?
No.
No? Okay.
Nice. But he's a great man. So I think that...
I had to ask.
I have a great life.
Okay.
So I think that was the first mistake, was this, all the investors are saying, grow, grow, grow. And then it's like, we should have focused on profitability. And I remember a very distinct conversation with my brother and our president at the time. I said, why can't we be a small company that grows stably, have nice lives, pay for what we want, and call it
Make it a lifestyle business.
And he was like, don't you want to be the next Michael Kors or whatever? And at the time, being so starved, right? Still being married with roommates, I was like, oh, it would be nice to like maybe sell for a couple $100 million. But I think in hindsight that it would have been the right thing to do to grow slower, more profitable, and there's nothing wrong with that.